All right, guys, welcome to another episode on the Highs and Lows podcast crypto segment. This is our episode 8, and my name is Solomon Gift Amunde, your host. And with me here is my co-host, Mr. Ochamo Miracle.
Good to see you again, guys. Welcome.
Yeah, so a whole lot has been happening from the last episode 7. A whole lot has been happening. First of all, we've seen the US election. Afterwards, and a lot played out the way we anticipated. First, we'll start with one of our calls that we made, I think in our episode 2 or 3, roughly a month plus ago. We made a call. For those that have been following us, we made a call on DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, which we spoke about extensively. We did speculate that if Donald Trump wins the election, with Elon Musk tweeting about this particular project, it's going to do numbers. So amazingly, it has done more than 1,000% return on investment. We called it
10x.
Yeah, that's a clean 10x. We called it around $10 million FDV, and right now is around $140-something million FDV. So congratulations to those that did take the call and those that do follow up with most of our calls. So it has done amazingly well. Make sure you take profits. Don't try to wait for it to do 100x. You should by now. Your capital should be out. Some profit should be out. Then you can leave a moon bag. That's like the best way to trade. Another of our calls that we did was Wen. We did Wen. We're very bullish on Wen. Well, Wen is just barely 35% up, which is not still bad. You can still lock in profits if you want, or you can still wait. We still believe it to go higher. So if you want, you can still wait. The choice is yours. But the good thing is on profit right now. So next, let's jump into weekly activities. Before we talk about the election, we saw some altcoins briefly before the election, like few days to the election. We saw some altcoins do numbers, like Peanut.
Yeah, I think even Peanut enjoyed the whole Trump winning the election.
Peanut took off just before the election day.
Yes. It's quite interesting that the way the whole thing played out.
Yeah.
Trump is pro crypto.
Yes.
So all tokens affiliated with Trump, both DOGE, the Trump coin, some other memes that are attributed to Trump did good numbers.
Yes.
We saw other memes that are attributed to Kamala dumping.
They dumped.
So
they are dust now.
Yeah. It's quite interesting to see anyway.
Yeah, so it was actually a gamble. Peanuts, one of the major highlights of Peanuts is a trader was able to turn $17 to $250,000. I would say that trader was like the biggest gainer yet on Peanut. And we had another trader too that bought Peanut. It's over $215, and he sold off at a loss. And the Peanut he got right now, it's valued at over $1 million. So you can imagine.
You know that the game of meme is quite a risky game.
Yeah.
But most of the times people advise that if you gambled in on a meme, it's money you can afford to lose. Let's say you gambled in $100. And now that meme has dumped more than 50%. We are seeing your $100 is now worth, let's say, $35.
Yeah.
Sometimes if your conviction was high when you got into that meme, sometimes just let it be. Just hold the $35.
Or you buy more.
Yeah, there are some people they don't want to keep exposing themselves, depending on how maybe the whole meme tanked the price action.
Yeah.
So they just tend to maybe I should just take the $35 and move on. Sometimes I advise them just leave it, right? Just take it. You've lost. I've been in a situation where I bought Boba Koa. It's a Polish bear meme coin.
Yeah.
I bought it. It was really good. The whole idea of the whole
the narrative
was
the
really
hype.
Good. I bought it. It tanked more than 60%. I forgot it. 3 months later, it did more than 7x. I just woke up and it was pumping. Yeah. Why was it pumping? I didn't know. I checked. Idea. I was like, okay, another bear meme coin was pumping. So people now resurrected the Polish meme coin. and it did more than 6-7x, and I'm like, I was in profit. It did more than that because it has already tanked, so it did more than 6x from my buy point. So sometimes just let it go.
That's one thing that most persons don't understand when it comes to meme trading. If you buy a meme, and obviously not just based on useless gamble, based on some hypes, some trends, narratives, you buy that meme, and maybe you ended up buying the top, or it decides to dump after buying. Most persons don't know that it's a better strategy to just allow it,
just leave it
and wait for some days, weeks, might take months,
more than 3 months.
After some time you'll find out that the meme will just resurrect from nowhere. I've seen a situation too where I think that was over 6 months ago, around July or so. I think there was a meme then, if you remember, that I was talking about then on our Clubhouse, where I said I got it dumped like $20-30, something Pepe, I guess, on Solana, and months after I just checked my wallet one day and this thing was over $1,000.
It happened
from nowhere, like something that was barely $15-20, it was now over $1,000. So most times some people will be forced to like just sell it as dust, convert the money to nothing. You get just convert it and use it to like buy something else, or just close that trade. But it's a better strategy to like leave it to see what will happen, because eventually you've lost that money. If it was actually money you can afford to lose, you won't really be bothered. You can afford to just let it slide. So the next major thing we're seeing, we're seeing some, should I call it speculation? I don't think it has been confirmed yet, that Binance will likely list paws.
I've not looked into that actually.
I think right now we're still kind of like speculative, but we spoke about it on our last episode 7. We spoke about paws, airdrop, and how there are hints that it's the persons that actually did found Notcoin. They are the ones actually affiliated to this, and they are giving rewards to people that did participate in DOGE, Hamster, Notcoin. They are all getting rewards from this paws airdrop. So if Binance would most likely list this, because Binance has already listed Notcoin, which was one of the first pioneers of these TG mini app memes, if Binance should list this, I think this paws will do really well, especially now that the market is bullish.
The thing is, these exchanges, they are there for the money. If it will rack up fees from trading the assets, they would list it. And it's not the first time that Binance is listing community tokens or meme coins. So I wouldn't be shocked if they get in on the action and list paws. But I don't think the airdrop is. I think their locations, people sharing their locations, how much paws they got.
And one of the top persons that has the most amount of paws on the leaderboard is sitting at over 60 million tokens. And I think the person at number 100 is at 4-point-something million paws tokens. So the vast majority of users have barely 50,000 paws tokens. You get.
But let's see how. I personally have not even looked at the tokenomics for paws. I don't even know if it's out there.
No, I don't think the tokenomics is out yet.
So I don't know. It's like I tell people, if something is going to perform or do numbers, you would know from the tokenomics.
But most of these platforms, these TG related mini apps, they don't drop that tokenomics.
Because they understand
until
that
the last days.
They understand that if they drop tokenomics, people can be able to
begin to speculate
as to if it's 1 billion, 100 billion, tokens. The price will need to be at X amount for
and the distribution too.
Yes, for we to have an FDV of 1 billion or an FDV of 300 million.
And a reasonable reward.
Yes, people can be able to calculate it down. Now, when they start seeing allocations, they can know that no, this is going to turn out to be dust even before trading starts. So it's a strategy in its own for not releasing tokenomics to people early.
They need to keep the farmers and users hooked. They just need to do that. Looking at the US election, which was one of the major highlights this week. Finally, Donald Trump has won. We had lots of speculations in our episode 1, 2, 3 about the outcome.
Now we've seen the election.
Now we have seen the outcome. Bitcoin now has made a new all-time high.
It's quite
slightly
interesting.
above $76,000.
It's really quite interesting that Bitcoin has made, let's say, 2 all-time highs this year. Because
yes,
2 all-time highs this year, but the likes of the major altcoins have not even.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, so
I
think
even Ethereum is not even yet up to $3,000.
It's like 2.9 last time I checked, and for the price that what's it called, Bitcoin is now, most of these mid caps and low caps are supposed to be like a very reasonable price, but we're not seeing that, despite most of them having done a lot of progress in terms of
building
and all that stuff. So meaning when the altcoin season comes, we would see a lot of rally, a lot of massive pumps.
I would agree, but then again, another way to look at it is it's possible that the bull markets we are about to experience would be one for Bitcoin, meme coins, you get, and not necessarily utility projects.
Okay.
So I would say it would be a bull market for Bitcoin, meme coins, AI. You get, but utility projects will take like the back seat. So rather than most persons anticipating that utility projects will do 10x, 20x, we might just see utility projects max out at 3x, maximum be 4x. That's what we might see. Whereas we might see Bitcoin max out at 100%. You get, so Bitcoin might rally from 70k to like maybe $140,000. That's where it might max out at. You might see like Ethereum max out at also 100%, Solana 100%, around maybe $350, $400, $500. You get around that range, but most of the utility projects will struggle to do like a reasonable 3x to like 5x.
I'd like to see that trend, because if that happens, you know, there are speculations that this bull market we're going to see a super cycle, right?
I feel the super cycle is based on it to be extended.
Yes, that's the
more than like 12 months.
But I don't think one narrative, one trend, which is the meme trend, can carry the full bull market to that extension of a super cycle.
Yeah,
because if you check last bull markets, we saw different things. We saw DeFi, which DeFi has its own sub trends in it. Yeah. Then we saw NFTs. Then we saw gaming, right?
Then we saw launchpads.
Yes, launchpad was crazy, really crazy stuff. Yeah. Launchpads, you know, and each of these trends had like sub trends. Like DeFi, we had algorithmic stable coins, we had reserve currencies, we have LSDs.
Yes,
we had a whole lot of, you know, stuff happen in the DeFi trend. NFTs, we had PFPs, we had some other kinds of NFTs, in-game characters and all that stuff.
Yeah.
For gaming, we now had
selling of lands,
metaverse lands. We now saw breeding of animals and all that
and
stuff.
Selling and all of that.
Yes, in-game characters and all that stuff. So for me, meme coins can't carry the full market because of the nature of meme coins itself.
We might still have multiple kinds of memes.
Yeah, but
internal trends.
Yes, it can have, but then that's like one super trend. We should also have. Yeah, I know that we're supposed to have like an AI trend, like a core AI trend where you're seeing real value, real utility, real not text to image or text to voice or that kind of a thing. No, we're supposed to see like real dApps are actually doing fantastic stuff with AI. I'm expecting that trend. We should also see good trends on real world assets.
I think Pendle is doing a fantastic work.
Yes, so we should see. And now when we talk about real world assets, there are so many sub trends that would come into that. You know, tokenization of maybe currencies, tokenization of lands, and all that good stuff. Then we could also see some form of maybe comeback of maybe DeFi NFTs or NFT and DeFi, you know, fused together.
Yeah.
But I think this bull market, utility coins would have its place. But I think much more meme coins would now take like one of the front seats in terms of people are not going to look at meme coins like it's a waste of time, or no, it's too much of a gamble. right? It's going to have the seat at the same with like DeFi in terms of the kind of monies that because remember when DeFi came up now.
Yeah, but then again, if you're not making 5x, 10x, 20x, 100x, it's not really a bull run.
That's it.
Exactly. So I don't see utility projects really doing so much.
No,
in terms of that crazy returns.
No, I think they will do. The speculation now that the utility coins will take a back seat will not even. It won't really.
Let's say we see some utility projects that will tend to perform well compared to all the utility projects we have now. I feel it will just be like a bare 10% you get of all the utility projects we have. Probably just 10% will be able to give that above 10x returns.
I don't think so.
The vast 50% will be like ranging from like 3x to like 7x you get, and the rest will just be below.
I don't think
because
so.
if right now Bitcoin has created a new all-time high, and we are seeing Solana is pushing it. It's now above $200. Binance BNB Smart Chain, the BNB token is now above $600, Solana above 200, Ethereum edging close to 3,000, very soon above $3,000. SU get to like $3. Aptos most likely will get to maybe 10, 15 or thereabout. Now when you now start breaking it down to like the projects within these different ecosystems, yeah, we have more projects now, like much more projects than we had last 4 years. Liquidity is more fragmented than it was then. Yes, there's more liquidity now. Yes, there are more users. We have more persons interested, and more liquidity will still flow in, based on Trump's victory. But not all projects would benefit from that. So even now that we have top VCs, hedge funds getting interested in crypto, they want to look at projects that have built something solid. And we do know that not every project has built a very solid tech stack. So that's why I maintain that for the utility projects, we would see very few of them make that crazy run from wherever they are to like over 10x. Very few.
I still have my reservations on that, because if you check out some of the projects that we know that probably from the last bull market that are still here, and that has made tremendous growth over the past 2 years, that if you check their all-time high and where they are now, most of them are like easy 25x, right? Now, but then when you compare the growth that they've even gone, you know that them hitting 25x should be like a piece of cake, right? There are like so many projects like that on different chains.
Agreed.
Now, let us not also forget that VCs, most of them come here for the money, not for the tech. And by the time liquidity starts pouring in, whether from our from our most loved chains, maybe Solana, BNB or whatever, we're still going to come through some other funny chains, maybe Conflux, some other old chains, but that has been laying low. We'll see what is happening in CU now through memes. VCs are always there to make money, and I feel VCs might not openly come and start pumping monies into memes, right? But then they will come through the angle of, we are building something that is beneficial. We saw a whole lot of that during the last bull market. So many VCs came up. They have launch pads. These launch pads will do this. They had DeFi protocols, a whole lot of them on Phantom that was mildly innovative. Most of them now are nowhere to be found. We saw so many projects too, even on Solana, in terms of DeFi, NFTs and all that, but they racked in a whole lot of money. So these are like utility tokens. But then the question is, how much utility did the people gain from the tokens?
That's why I would say, personally, talking about VCs not pumping money into memes, I think right now it's even way easier for VCs to make money from crypto. It is far easier because VCs don't necessarily need to identify with a particular crypto platform. With a particular meme. VCs don't necessarily need to identify with a particular meme coin for it to perform well. But VCs can make use of certain players and market makers new wallet address, new developer or deployer's address to like create certain meme coins and pump them. You get, within few hours, 2-3 hours, they've pumped those memes, and they can buy with multiple wallets.
Yes,
you get, they can buy with multiple wallets, and I believe that's where we tend to see stuffs like a wallet that got a meme with $50.
yes,
and after 2 weeks or a month, he's sitting on almost $3 million profit.
But then
I feel most times these are stuffs that were initiated, the pumps.
Yeah,
they were actually initiated before.
But you know how these VCs work. These things has to be on their balance sheet, right? And the amount of money that they invested. So I don't think they would want to create their own tokens, right?
Rather, they can have a third party do it for them.
But then it has to be on their books.
Not necessarily.
It's a company, you know. if we're looking at Animoca brand, or if we're looking at Seco, or we're looking at Binance Ventures or some other, those guys are not going to go to memes. Rather, they will build
publicly. My point is, they won't do it publicly. It will be behind the scene.
What they will go and do is they will go and build something like pump.fun that lets you launch meme.
Okay, after
then they are going to
push
pushing money. Then that pump.fun platform generates revenue. Then they will go and create token for pump.fun.
Because even the likes of pump.fun, I feel they also have like a way they will make use of some different third parties. You get, create certain memes that they can pump.
We know during the last bull market now, the launch parts we are creating tokens.
Yes.
What was the name of this launcher? BSCS on Binance Smart Chain. We saw the likes of what's it called? Paws created Yellow Road that was supposed to be like
for Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah, or a launch pad too for Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah.
We saw the likes of Gains Associates that
from pre-sale.
Yes, for pre-sales. We saw DOGE. We saw
there were a lot.
Right.
Those
launch pads had VC backings, and then those launch pads too can easily create projects. Nothing stops me and you from having a launch pad.
Most of those projects are failed projects.
Right, but guy, they made a lot of money.
Not less than 90% of those projects are failed.
But they made a lot of money. That's it. Nothing stops me and you create a launch pad, and then people are launching tokens on our launch pad, and then we too decides to create, because guy, everybody's anonymous.
Yes.
Decide to create very good projects on our launch pad, and the money still goes to us. There is no rule in crypto that says you should do that. There's nobody that is regulating you to say, oh, if you have a launch pad, don't launch your own tokens on it. So
yeah.
But then for me, utility, when people talk about utility coins, the truth about it is that if you check a whole lot of coins or tokens on chain, both the tokens to projects that are functional, most of the tokens you own are now actually utility tokens, because you're not really using those tokens on those platforms. Rather, what we are even using is more of governance tokens, right? It's only a few, maybe the likes of Binance, that you can use Binance, what's it called? When you use Binance app, you can use BNB to pay for fees. That's it. Most other tokens, it's governance.
They are not really used.
Yes, and speculative. Just how the DApp works. There's a DApp. This DApp, I can use it to track my wallet. This DApp, I can use it to check markets. Like CoinGecko. If CoinGecko has an app, their tokens might not be like core utility tokens.
Yeah.
It might be used for governance. They may propose stuff and all that stuff. But for me, yes, memes are going to have a huge seat in this bull market.
Yeah.
There are utility tokens, quote unquote utility token, which also includes governance tokens and all that stuff, are also going to, because the bull market now, we are talking about wild swings, crazy price action. And I do also understand there are more blockchains now, heavily fragmented.
Yes,
utility.
exactly.
But now is the time for you to be chain agnostic. Rotate money in and out, because money might be flowing on base, and you're on base making your money, and then liquidity shifts from base, it's on account, or it's on Conflux. So you need to move. You need to move and take profits, because now we are having institutional investors. The aim of this bull market that everybody should be sounding in their head is take profit. 5x, 6x, 10x, move.
I also feel the ecosystem would soon mature to a point where we would see less rotation from one blockchain to another. We're not yet there yet, but over time we'll get to that point where there will be less rotation
from one chain to another. I think that even this bull market there will be a lot of rotation.
No, there will definitely. That's why I say we're not yet at that point. Yes, but maybe in the next 6 years or thereabouts, we'll most likely have gotten to that point.
We now have maybe 1 or 2 chains that are heavily dominant.
No, we don't even need to have chains heavily dominant. You just need to have people that they have made crazy money from that chain. Yeah, so they won't mind leaving 10% of the amounts they've generated on that chain. They won't mind to do that. Yet. So I strongly believe over time. But now we still have most persons that are still building their positions, still trying to amass as much liquidity
as possible.
Chain, yes. Yeah. So eventually it will get to a point where you will see like on multiple chain, stable coins on those chains is over $1 billion. Like there, it doesn't drop less than that. It can fluctuate to maybe 3, 4, 5, but it has a base price. Yeah, because they keep minting more stable coins almost every 6 months or thereabout. These stable coins they are minting will find their ways to different chains. And don't forget, we have newer companies now that are introducing new kinds of stable coins. Yeah, even the DRAM, you're looking at introducing it too. So by the time we now have these multiple stable coins, they'll find their ways to certain blockchain, and it can't be just 1 or 2 blockchains. No. You can have like 5 solid blockchains you get. So I believe the future would have a more stable ecosystem and more stable blockchains with less bridging of funds and chasing of trends and hypes. I believe that would what we're seeing in the future. So next we're looking at I'm sure you saw the news where a gambler made $48 million
on
polymarkets after betting that Donald Trump would win the election.
Yeah.
Now the crazy thing now is France now they're thinking of banning polymarkets.
Why are they thinking? Why do you want
well they say that is gambling done wrong.
Why? Because you're speculating on elections.
Yeah, so they say that's gambling done wrong, probably because of the amount of money the gambler made, $48 million. Yeah, probably because of the amount of money made. But the crazy thing now is most times it baffles me if people don't think, what if he had lost the money? Yeah, most times people just think of
people bet that Kamala was going to win. They lost.
Yeah, one of the co-founders of Polymarkets was actually giving a speech about that. But the truth here is that's one of the powers of blockchain and crypto. One major thing that blockchain and crypto does, it brings and makes things available to everyone.
Yes.
You get, before now, nobody had seen betting platforms or gambling platforms like Polymarkets.
Of course.
Okay, but blockchain has made this as fair as possible.
As open.
People now bet on any and everything. In fact, the speculation, right? I don't think if they've created it yet. The speculation that someone has created, if France will ban Polymarket for people to start betting on it. So you get, it's quite crazy. And these are things that you cannot just change it. You can't change. The worst you can do is ban, and people still use VPN to access most of those platforms. So that's like the fantastic part of blockchain.
Interesting for if someone did something like that, like a smaller version of Polymarket built on chain but focusing on Nigeria.
Well, the truth is, someone can still build that. It changes nothing. Right now, Polymarket is one of the platforms, the biggest that we know that does stuff like this.
The idea is like in Nigeria, we see a lot of crazy stuff happening. So, would police arrest VDM? People bet on it.
Exactly, which would work. The only difference now is you need to look for a way to make it Naira based.
A lot of people are using USDT.
No, so that people can bet 1,000 Naira, 800 Naira.
Nigerian government will free that Naira account. Well, the idea is if you make it juicy. Okay, people are collecting USDT for services and construction and all that stuff.
Yes.
So, but if imagine a news goes out, VDM, that position from that VDM was wearing, right? No police invited him.
Yes.
Someone now make a bet: will VDM go or will VDM not go?
Will the police arrest VDM or not?
So now, after like 24 hours, you get that, let's say it closes, the bet closes, and you hear that a Nigerian, Bolaji, made 4 million naira or $10,000 from that bet. Nigerians are going to flock that platform and start creating any and everything.
But that's true, actually.
But then that is what you need. You just only need one to go out there, that there's a site that somebody made $10,000 from betting that police would arrest VDM, and everybody saw it that through the police arrested VDM. Guy, you that is the owner of that platform, the next day, if you go to that platform and you would see what people have created as bets, because now people they are the ones spreading the news for you. They are sharing their link. They are doing stuff to get people to bet with their. It's crazy.
That's actually crazy.
I know it's going to work.
It's buildable. Funny enough.
Yeah, it is.
Funny enough, within the next 1 year, you might actually see something like that in Nigeria.
You only need a little bit of partnership or something.
Yeah, it's very, very doable. So next we'll be talking about airdrops briefly, very, very briefly. But first of all, do you think this is like the best time for people to be doing airdrops, or you think based on the bull market that is upon us, this is the best time for people to focus on trading?
You know, trends change. I think the trend for me, I think the trend for airdrops is slowly coming to a halt. And when I say airdrops, I'm talking about active participation for social fi airdrops. Right? Because now airdrops have become a business. I think it's going to gently slow when people, the bull market now, when people find out that anything that I buy will pump. Because the truth is, once Bitcoin is pumping, even if your alt is not doing anything, it adds 1%, 2% on its own, right?
Yes.
When people start to figure it out, people will start thinking that they are geniuses in the market. Oh, anything that my guy says I should buy, I buy it. Next thing I'm saving 20%, 30%. Now we just move the money. Nobody will want to now start going to a Telegram mini app to collect daily coins or do booster.
People won't take it seriously again.
People will now want give me token to buy, make I just this afternoon I will get something. Nobody wants to farm something. Nobody will want to farm something for like 2 weeks, 1 month to now hope whether I will get dust or not.
Yeah.
People might even get airdrop accidentally. For example, when people now start buying stuff on Solana, they are forced to download Phantom Wallet to hold their tokens. They are forced to do transaction maybe in-app or using Jupiter or using Orca.
Yes.
So if Phantom wakes up one morning and says, we are giving airdrop,
those persons will also qualify.
They just qualify, but their head, they did not know that, Phantom did not even have tokens. But just by using Phantom to go and buy any and everything on Solana and now qualify. So people are going to accidentally get some maybe really good airdrops along the line.
And talking about Phantom, I believe Phantom would take advantage of this bull market to actually do their own airdrop.
I think so, because it's about
Trust Wallet took advantage of the last one to drop there, and they airdropped almost to everyone.
But
people that failed to claim after a specific period of time, they lost theirs. Which when it maxed out, that's the value of that airdrop they give to everybody got to about $100 and something.
Mine
maxed out.
I think it was Binance. I sent it to Binance, so it was Binance that stole that money. But anyway,
but it's been interesting though to see Phantom airdrop, and that's one of the airdrops that I expect to be really, really loud. Very loud and very valuable.
MetaMask.
I'm not expecting to see MetaMask airdrop yet. For Phantom is possible. Still on airdrops, Grass airdrop that was done about 2 weeks ago. The value now is like 3x up. Most persons don't understand this, that you can actually make money from buying this airdrop project after they had dumped.
If it's a good project.
Yes, if it's a good project. Most persons don't understand, because you need to understand the market, you need to understand tokenomics, fundamentals. If you notice Grass, after they gave the airdrop, sell pressure,
they are reduced.
It dumped to below $1, almost 90 something cents or thereabout. Now Grass is almost at $3, which is about 200% plus profit. Most persons don't usually look at it from that angle. Whereas some persons, once they clean the airdrop, they sell off everything. Whereas you can sell off 80%, leave 20%, depending on the time and the targets too. You get, if we're in a bear market, you can choose to sell everything. But if we're approaching like a bull market, for me, people that sold their grass last 2 to 3 weeks, it never made any sense to me. So you could have easily sold 50 or 70%, not sell everything when we are approaching a bull market.
Some people too, they know, but they might have needs for the money. So
it's just like people that got tier airdrop.
Yes.
Early this year.
Yeah, this year.
And people that got some other airdrops like ZK Sync. ZK Sync was even more recent. There were airdrops that happened much earlier this year. For example, Dimension. No, I got Dimension then too. I got tier airdrop. Now, people that did that, especially Dimension.
Did Nibi give airdrop? Nibiru.
Yeah, Nibiru gave airdrop, which has dumped aggressively too. People that got those airdrop, Dimension got about $7 to get, making about 100 Dimension tokens. As at then, about 450 Dimension tokens was almost $4,000 you get around that price. Most persons refuse to sell because they were anticipating $20 per Dimension token. Now Dimension dumped below $1. Now it's sitting at 1.5.
Crazy.
People rush to buy tier to stake at $19, $18 to stake so that they can be getting airdrops, and they have to lock it up. Now that tier dumped aggressively to below $5. So imagine a tier you bought with $5,000 dumped to about $1,200, $1,400, all because of what people failed to understand the time. People fail to understand that the market has maxed out. It's about to flip to bearish for a short time before it flips back to bullish. So most persons don't understand this, and this is why they end up making certain mistakes or not maxing out on profits that they should make on certain platforms. So looking at them, our project review, we'll be looking at them just 2 major projects. One, a project we've talked about before, Chromia. Chromia has been disappointing the investors for so much, and for too long. Actually, it's been disappointing the investors, but
disappointment in terms of price action.
Price action. But personally, I feel it's a fantastic project, and I believe in it 100%. But now, one of the major delays that has kept Chromia, both in terms of price action and to also fast track on-chain development, creating of dApps, and liquidity finding its way to the blockchain. One of the major stuff that has been delaying this has now been completed, which is their bridge.
Yeah, but they always had a bridge, but they said this was bridge enhancement, which
sometimes I feel sometimes projects do this stuff that they can tell you this thing is ready, but it's not yet efficient.
Yes,
so you can't really take advantage of it yet. You can't maximize it
using it.
So I think that's like the strategy they made use of there. But right now, it's ready. Based on the recent updates few days ago, barely 48 hours ago, it is ready. Right now, what do you think this means for projects building on Chromia? We know Chromia is big on gaming. We know it's also a platform they can use for DeFi. There are some DeFi protocols there. You get Hedgets is there, and some others too that are there that we saw on QuestNet. About 4 or 5 that we saw on QuestNet. They're actually there. They're also pushing on AI now. You get, and they are also very big on reward assets.
True.
You get, so we're seeing some other new projects leveraging on Chromia tech stack, both to build as AI, reward asset, and other areas. But the great thing now, the fantastic thing now is we can now finally begin to see liquidity flow into the ecosystem, and we can now begin to try out the transaction speed and the throughput. You get, we can now begin to try out those things, and most importantly, we can now see a DEX on Chromia, which brings us to Chosi Swap.
So for me, I was really looking at the bridge enhancement to be one of the core updates this quarter. So having seen
not Asgard.
PassGuard is just it's an upgrade.
Extensions.
For extensions.
Okay.
It's good, but it's just as extensions, as a service and all that.
But one of the most significant.
It's bridge enhancement. Because why I think it's one of the most essential, because it helps inflow of funds from other chains. Because if you say you've built a blockchain and the blockchain is segregated, someone cannot bring in funds to your chain and then take
isolated.
It won't work. But now that is done, there's one other big issue. It's not like it's a big issue, but one of the founders also expressed it as a concern, expressed it as something one should also take note of, which is stable coins. Now, Chromia, which is the guys
company
that is behind Chromia blockchain, they can't spin up a bridge for stable coins. It's against EU regulations for stable coins. They can't. A third party has to do it. So which now they are saying, there are other third parties working on stablecoin bridges, right? So once that happens, then we can now begin. Because the truth is, if you start trading, because if you check, Rekin already has a DEX, but you take your profit in CHR, which is also a volatile asset in itself. So you need to take it to USDT, and Rekin has said they are building their bridge. So if they are building their bridge and it has USDT in it, then I know that if I have USDT, then I can take it in USDT. And where can I bridge out from? Maybe I can bridge out to BNB to get USDT to a BNB, and then I can get out.
Yes,
that makes sense. So Chromia cannot do that bridge that has USDT. The third party has to do it. So we should be expecting third party bridges to start spinning up that will now bring in USDT, USDC, or any other kind of stable coins.
How long do you think this might take, though?
Well, for me, I think we should even start seeing DEX activities from this month, because now we have Sloppy and we have Chusi, which Chusi from the get-go has expressed concern about bridge enhancement, which they call it a mass exit, right? So now that is done, Chusi is supposed to ramp up developer activity in terms of launching something on Chromia itself.
And talking about Chusi, that's another project that we are actually holding. We have a huge bag of Chusi accumulated between 300k market cap and 600k market cap. Now, this is not an endorsement for you to invest in the project, but it's a project that we are actually holding, and if you want to buy some of the projects we're trading, you can look at accumulating Chusi. The only way you can get it is on chain and on the Avax blockchain. That's the only place you can get it. You can't get it on any centralized exchanges currently. So if you want to, you have to go to Avalanche C chain and be able to buy it from there. The next, I'm looking at Wen meme coin is another project that we're big on. It hasn't made, so far so good. When we look at one of the meme coins that have like solid backing, Wen remains one meme that hasn't really made a significant move, and also Wen remains one of the most distributed meme coins. You get on Solana, reaching over 300,000 wallets. Most other meme coins on Solana, they are not as distributed as Wen, but for some reasons it is yet to take off. Now personally, I'm speculating that between now and when Jupiter will do their next round of profits, should I call it profits or reward distribution, which should be around January, February, we should see Wen make a crazy move. Now some persons are speculating that there might be a reward for holders of Wen token or traders of Wen token. They might take random snapshots. We don't know how true that is, but it's still on the cards, because Wen is like one of the first coins officially that Jupiter actually launched before doing their Jupe airdrop distribution. You get, so I would say in the history of Jupiter, Wen has its place already, and I feel it's a project that would stand the test of time, and it should be a project that people should keep an eye on. I've already recommended it in previous episodes, and so far so good. It's sitting on slightly above 35% profit from where we recommended it, or should I say 45% profit. So it's still a good buy even at current price, so you can look at it. Mind you, none of this is financial advice, so you should also do your due diligence. Then talking about our personal trades this week, what trades stood out for you this week?
Personally, this week I didn't really make much trades because of my activities. What trades am I even thinking of making maybe this week that we are going? I'm looking at Aqualib, which was a token on Kujira that migrated to Bees. So trading migration should start next week, but before then the token pumped more than 50% in anticipation of the migration. Now FDV is it around 10 million or so, but FDV should easily reach 100 million because of what they are building. So I think I have some of its token, so I think that should also be good. I'm also looking at the likes of CHR, that's Chromia, this week that we are going into, to at least something should pop for CHR, and then also for CCY, because I tell you, these tokens are really undervalued.
Extremely, really criminally undervalued.
But then we are at some point we're almost overexposed to these tokens because we've been accumulating this thing from 2 years ago, So it's such they say patient dog eats the fattest bone, but at some point if you calculate the opportunity cost of being patient, you'd be like, guy,
was it really worth it?
Yes. So but yeah, those are like the core things I'm looking at for as of the from the top of my head. So maybe when I'm much more relaxed, I could probably figure out some other good trades that one can take within the week.
So talking about our trades that we take, we actually do share these trades real time, but we do it on our Twitter spaces or on our Clubhouse. Now the Twitter spaces hold Mondays or Tuesdays 7 p.m. on Twitter, whereas on Clubhouse it holds by 4 p.m. on Sundays, every Sunday. Now we do share and take questions real time, interacting with people that ask us about the crypto markets, what to buy, what to sell, strategies, and all of that. We do it real time. Now for this week's episode, we did share some calls real time on Tuesday. We did, and all the calls we shared it a day to election or thereabouts. All the calls we shared are now on very, very good profits, like really, really good profits. So just in case you've been missing out on this, you have to join our Telegram group. Look for the link either below description. You check for the link, or if it's on TikTok, the bio. If it's on IG, bio. Check for the Telegram link. Join the Telegram channel. Follow us on our socials. We do drop the link to this spaces there, so you don't need to miss out, because that's where you can get like the real-time information and also ask questions real time. So talking still about our trades, one of the trades that personally, from the ones we shared, one of the trades that I took, it actually made a good profit utilizing one of the strategies we've talked about before in our previous episode. We shared it I think on episode 6 or 7, a strategy where we used to also make profit on the goat meme, where we did share that looking at for a particular meme that has done extremely well on a particular chain, you can actually, for example, if it does so well on Solana, you can look for a copy of that meme on Ethereum and you can take advantage of it. So we deployed the same strategy for the meme we recommended, which is DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, and it was actually originally launched on Ethereum, which it pumped to over 70 million. We did deploy the same strategy looking for its copy on Solana, and with an entry of about 800k FDV, it was able to pump to about $7 million FDV, which was a 10x, and that was done this week, about a few days ago. So this is how you can utilize most of the strategies to like make money, and it works. We've showed you guys that it works more than once, so it's left for you now to take advantage of it. Now, some of the coins we're actually bullish on this week. Some of the coins we're bullish on, very bullish on Ori, which we've said before. We're bullish on Chromia. Now, we're not expecting them to make crazy returns this week. Is actually long term. We're very bullish on Torchain, which we did a review on. You can check for the review on our YouTube page to see more about the project. We're bullish on Arkham, which has pumped from $1.5 when we did the review, still on our YouTube page. Now it is above $2.6, so we're bullish on Arkham. We're also bullish on Solana, which we are also speculating that it will get to at least $300. We started speculating from $155. Right now it's slightly above $200. So these are very safe projects that you can decide to buy, but like we always say, this is not financial advice, so you still need to do your due diligence before jumping into these projects. Another project we spoke about in one of our spaces 3-4 weeks ago was a MakerDAO. We did speak about going long on MakerDAO. Now, if you were opportune to join our Twitter spaces and you took advantage of that trade, you will notice that MakerDAO has pumped from slightly above $1,000 to about $1,500, which via features that would have given you crazy returns. Via spots that would have given you at least 40% return on investment. Then another meme coin that we're bullish on the Ton blockchain, Telegram blockchain, that we're gradually accumulating is Fish. So you can look up Fish and accumulate between $2.5 million FDV and $3.5 million FDV. It's a meme that has corrected aggressively from over $60 million FDV to about $3.1 million FDV. So you can decide to take a position and accumulate it too. So you just have to go to CoinGecko and you can search Fish out and you can check for the one on Ton blockchain. You can buy it there. So closing remark, do you have any closing remark?
Well, it's the bull market. The bull market has been confirmed. But then one thing about the bull market is that people round trip money. What that means is they make money, but they don't get it out and they lose it also. So it's simple to use. It's better to use a simple strategy. Once it's 2x, 3x, remove capital, rotate, move on. So if your coin is doing 30%, 40%, 80%, you're seeing 3x and you're still holding capital that you don't even have, you're doing it wrong. Because as A is pumping, B, C, and D is also pumping. So we should learn to be capital efficient. 2x, take our capital, put it in something else, leave the other one to run. By so doing, you can use your $50 to make an unlimited amount of money.
Very well said. So what I would say to the audience is there's so much money in the crypto space, there's so much money in forex space, there's so much money in Web3 space. Things are changing very fast these days, so you have to take advantage of crypto, Web3 or forex. You have to position yourself and you can actually make so much money in this ecosystem. It's not something that you should do daily. It's something that you just need to bring up maybe 1 hour of your time every day or every 2 or 3 days, and you can choose to not necessarily trade on the go. You can choose to like invest long term, but one way or the other, this is an ecosystem that exposes you and opens your mind financially and gives you an opportunity to make extra income for yourself. Now, don't forget, if you're looking for guidance, if you're looking for a community that you can actually feel like you belong to something and you can have your questions answered, then look no further. All you have to do is look for the Telegram link and join the community, and you can ask your questions there. Don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to leave comments, questions in the description. Thanks guys, and this is the end of today's episode.